Hello, everybody, and welcome to the NBA on 2K Sports. Ernie Johnson here with my esteemed colleagues, Shaquille O'Neal and Kenny the Jet Smith. And it is Raptor basketball tonight as the Toronto Raptors go up against the Philadelphia 76ers. Checking out the 76ers, they find themselves with a comparable win percentage to this time last year, but looking to make a push as this season continues. And Kenny, part of the early season is about making adjustments. For some, it's new personnel. For others, it's getting situated in a new city and a new arena. Tell us a little bit about that
players
process.
And coaches have been together for a while. They have the huge advantage because they know what to expect and they know the process.
I've gone through large changes in my career. Each day you just try to get a little better as a team, and you hope by the end it works out.
Joining us courtside, a guy who's always in mid-season form, Kevin Harlan.
Nice.
The crowd is assembled at the Air Canada Centre, looking for a Raptors victory here in Toronto. And we've got it live right here on 2K Sports. Well, guys, for the Philadelphia 76ers, they come in off the loss to the New York Knicks. And, guys, they were in that one to the very end. They just couldn't put it together in the last few minutes. They lost by just 2 points.
And hard to say whether it was the game plan defensively that let them down or just the inability to really bring the fire on that side of the ball.
And, guys, it was a bit befuddling to me as to why they stuck with it. I mean, they dug themselves a hole and couldn't find the tweak.
Here's Lowry. He had 22 points in the win against Chicago.
Yeah, and he also did a great job on the backboards, Kev, and that also was a factor.
Here's Valanciunas. Soft touch off the glass. Valanciunas has got his second bucket of the game to go.
How about the perseverance there, the extra effort on that offensive glass?
Now here's Freak. Defense right on him. He kicks to Roten. To the paint. And so he earns a trip to the line. Officials saw the contact, and he'll shoot 2. Philadelphia is shooting their 5th and 6th free throws of the game. And the first one drops. Damari Carroll's checked in for the Raptors. Good on both.
Yeah, drawing fouls and making them pay at the line.
Boy, I love that attack mentality. Get in there and force the officials to make a call.
The drive by Lowry. From 13 feet, it goes down.
You start hitting a few of those mid-range shots, and it can open up your whole game.
The 76ers leading by 5. Earlier, Doris Burke spoke with head coach Dwayne Casey.
He has a very specific approach laid out. He told me that they're going to concentrate on working the ball into the paint as much as possible today and taking advantage of what he believes is a significant edge for them on the interior. Guys?
Great. Thanks for the report, Doris. And out of bounds as Toronto gains possession.
Well, Kevin, a look here at last year in the NBA where the Raptors ranked. 7th in free throw percentage, 7th in opponent field goal percentage. And they were in the top 10 in steals as well. I mean, this is a team that really gets after people defensively. Deflections, pressure on the ball, all of that leads to steals.
And you look at their free throw percentage, not to be overlooked. I mean, this was a team, I thought, that did a really good job of taking advantage of their opportunity.
DeRozan, no good. So Philadelphia will take it the other way. This, their first look at this year's Toronto squad.
Yeah, and a 4-game season series between these two. Both will be looking to set the tone tonight.
Yeah, and as they renew acquaintances, if you're the underdog, you always want to show, hey, we've got something new up our sleeve. It should be fun.
Inside. And that one's good from Fisher.
tell you what, the post play has been rock solid right off the bat.
It really has, and they've created a lot of high percentage shots in the paint here already.
Freak kicks to Covington. Roten, the pass to Freak. To the inside, Sparks. That one falls, his second basket of the game. He's now 2 for 3.
And he's really been working to get those looks, and it's starting to pay off here early on.
It's time now to look at the NBA's toughest defensive teams from a season ago. The 76ers, number 1.
Defense was their identity, and that's how they're going to beat you. And they did it better than anyone in the league.
Nerlens Noel checks in for the 76ers.
They're going to have to play really smart on defense now and defend without fouling because they're over the limit.
The Raptors shooting their first shots from the free throw line tonight. Free throw drops for Kyle Lowry. And good on the second, so he makes them both. The 76ers leading by 5. Freak kicks to Okafor. Feeds it to Freak. Pick by Okafor. Noel sets a screen for Roten. 4 on the clock, and it's blocked. Fast break. Here come the Raptors. Lowry's got the ball. Carroll dishes to Fisher. Toronto working the ball around now. Here's Patterson. That's in, coming off an assist from Lowry. Lowry's got his 4th assist in this one.
That's a clean look they gave him there, fellas, and he drains those.
Freak passes to Okafor. It's stolen by DeRozan. And oh, here we go. DeRozan, nobody back. And they're going to count the bucket and send him to the line. It could be a 3-point play. And the Raptors with some changes. Luis Scola, he's checked in for Patterson. Johnson comes in for Fisher. And it's Joseph in for Kyle Lowry. Freak kicks to Covington. Noel dishes to Freak. That one, no question, powered it down.
And Kevin, who says a point guard should look to pass first? I mean, not when you can finish like this fella.
Well, Clark, he wasn't going to give that opportunity up to a teammate.
Well, you know, Kevin, that's one he'll always take himself, and he should. I mean, you can't pass up that kind of opportunity or fun.
Oh, that was a great angle we just saw, courtesy of Kia. Kendall Marshall's checked in for Philadelphia. Philadelphia leading by 6. Patterson is the 4 with Valanciunas in the middle. DeRozan out there with Corey Joseph. And it's Fisher in at the small forward. So that's the 5 in the game for Toronto.
I tell you what, the defense should send Christmas cards for that miss. And you can see the defenders afraid to kind of get in his way a lot of times when he's on his way to the basket. But on that one, they were there.
Patterson, that's good.
That shot becomes effortless for him when the D is so relaxed. They've got to get more intense.
And there's a whistle that goes on Corey Joseph. That's his first foul.
I mean, that's a tough break for the D. I mean, he took the hit and drew the whistle.
Yeah, but he was late to get there, Greg, so the referee couldn't give him a free pass on that one.
Landry against Patterson. To the inside. Freak. And it's blocked. But they'll get another chance. 5 on the clock. And it's Okafor. That time on the assist by Landry. And the 76ers lead by 5. Now here's Joseph. Tight defense on him. Got a piece of it. Here's Freak. Offline with his 3. Toronto, they've gone 2 of 5 from the field here in the second quarter, shooting 40%. And the foul. Now here's Jackson. 11-point game his last outing. Now the feed to Covington. It's deflected. And the lead now, double digits on that bucket. Noel's got his second basket.
And Kevin, they've dialed up their activity this quarter. We're seeing them convert a lot of those second chance opportunities.
Well, the hustle and the effort, the persistence, all of that paying off in a big way. And that's something that makes a coach smile.
Patterson, the screen. And Fisher kicks to Joseph. Here's the pass to Patterson. Fires from deep. Rebounded by Covington.
You've got to give them a lot of credit for the job they've done on the backboards.
They've done a lot of things well today, but really it's about what they've done on the backboard that's at the top of that list.
Here's Freak. And it comes off the front of the rim.
He is yet to get into the flow of this game. His teammates have done their part, but they need him to pick his game up.
Outside Lowry. Lets it go from 11. That's tipped.
And another miss. Woo, he's having a really ugly game.
Yeah, about as ugly as you can have, you're right.
And checking out the numbers for Joseph, how he performed last season. He averaged about 5 points per, 5 assists, and 2 rebounds. And you look at those numbers, not bad, but guys, I think he can do better, and he knows it.
And he has high expectations for himself as well, guys, but he just hasn't delivered fully on his potential yet.
Catching up on the changes for Toronto. Luis Scola, he's checked in for Jonas Valanciunas. Johnson comes in for Patrick Patterson. And Damari Carroll subbed in for Fisher. Lowry passes to Scola. Johnson dishes to Lowry. Johnson the screen. Lowry kicks to Johnson. Fader on the way. No good. And it's Philadelphia the other way. Following this one, they get to host the Pelicans. That game is the first and last of their homestand. And it's out of bounds. They say it was last touched by Jackson.
And that's just carelessness there. I mean, you have got to have your head in the game.
And the 76ers making a change here. Embiid's checked in. Knocks it loose. And stolen by Freak. And that one is hammered home.
Ooh, quick hands on the steal and then just mad hops on the slam.
Great sequence for them defensively and Clark offensively.
Well, one usually leads to the other, Kevin. That's just good, aggressive, attacking basketball at both ends.
Carroll with it. Kelly's there. And let's get your take, guys, on the hustle stats for the 76ers.
Boy, they've really amped up the pressure at the defensive end, guys, and have piled up the steals in the early going.
And also, how about how well they defended the rim? Not just blocking shots, but also altering them here in this first half.
Freak passes to Noel. A good finish at the rack off the slick feed. Noel's got 6 points in the quarter.
In the first, he had trouble hitting with any consistency. But here in the second, he's turned it around.
Now, here's Lowry. Not a lot of room. Three-pointer. And Embiid pulls it down.
Not only is their lead big, but their advantage on the boards is huge, too.
They've been the aggressors, plain and simple, outworking them, fighting for every loose ball.
From the sideline, let's catch up with Doris Burke.
Well, Kev, Freak in the last matchup against the Knicks made some nice plays. He ended with 10 points, and he also was creating for others by getting the ball in a position to score it. He was just too much to handle as he came off the bench to turn in a great outing, guys. They hope it continues.
All right, thank you as always, Doris. And another special game from a player that we know is incredibly capable for this team.
Yeah, and he proved his value again in that last game. I mean, he's a cog in their machine, no doubt.
Yeah, and they're going to need a few other players to lend a bigger hand today. I mean, they can't expect him to carry the entire load 2 games in a row. Boy, they're getting a bunch more threes up here in the second quarter.
Yeah, and they're getting trigger happy. You can't win the game with one shot. You've got to vary it up, challenge the defense.
Pass to Covington. He dishes it to Freak. Fades and shoots. No good. And Toronto will come the other way. This game coming on the heels of their win against Chicago.
And that was not an easy game for them. I mean, they barely hung on at the end of regulation before they were able to pull it out in overtime.
And it could turn out to be one of their biggest wins of the season. I mean, just because of the way they came through when it mattered most. That's clutch play that could serve them well going forward.
Tony Rowe. And the first half is now in the books. 76.
Kevin, thank you. Dwayne, you're being...
And we welcome you back to more NBA action. And the 76ers with some changes. Carl Landry's checked in for Robert Covington. And Freak subbed in for Jackson. Taking a look at the 76ers. Freak in at point guard. Carl Landry is out there with Okafor. Then it's Tony Roten. And it's Sparks in at the 3 spot.
And they hold a huge advantage on the backboard.
Greg, and that's been the key to this lead. I mean, they've really dominated the glass.
Freak with it. Lowry picks him up. The timely screen gave him a step, and he took it all the way. And that's now 6 points for Freak. And taking a quick look here at the hustle stats for Philadelphia.
We've seen them make the extra effort from a defensive standpoint, closing out airspace and sending shots back.
And guys, I think you've got to give them credit for the number of steals they've taken away. I mean, a lot of effort on the defense from them tonight.
And he came off that screen, and the D just didn't get over the top of it.
Yep, weren't there in time enough to challenge Greg. And when that's the case, you can mark those up for him. Another bucket in the paint, that's something they just have not been able to stop today.
Yeah, the defense is all about disrupting timing and spacing, and what they've got going right now is not getting it done.
Now, there's something for the top 10 highlight reel right there. A layup can be just as sweet and as pretty as a dunk sometimes.
The 76ers leading by 7. To the paint, got a piece of it. It's stolen by Valanciunas. DeRozan in the corner. The quick look, no good that time.
Well, I think he was surprised by how much space he had there and just rushed the shot a little bit.
Freak kicks to Landry. Pass to Freak, pulls it from 20, and it doesn't even draw iron.
Even though he isn't having the best of games from the floor, it hasn't seemed to hurt him.
The wide open look here for DeRozan. Out of bounds, Philadelphia takes possession.
Well, let's take a look at where Philadelphia ended up rank-wise in the league last year. First in opponent points per game, 4th in second chance points, and they were top 10 in opponent field goal percentage. That's a good indicator of a team getting it done defensively.
And the hallmark for this team is that stifling defense. I mean, you mentioned that ranking, lowest opponent's points per game. They just grind teams down and really just took the life out of them.
Here's Carroll, and 2 free throws coming up as he misses that one. Drawing the whistle and a lot of contact there. It's going to be on Nerlens Noel, and that one falls for Carroll.
Take a look at what Carroll's done. He has 8 points, and some of his offense coming at the foul line with 5 points there.
Clark, 5 pretty big points indeed.
And the Raptors making a change here. Johnson's checked in. Joel Embiid, he's checked in for Philadelphia. Here's Freak. He has 6, and he gets it to go. Freak's got 8 points.
Just no resistance on the inside. That's their 5th consecutive make in the paint.
And Greg, those looks they're allowing are almost automatic.
Screened by Valanciunas. DeRozan, and the Raptors miss again.
You know, he's been off his game this quarter just a bit. Hasn't been able to get a whole lot to go so far.
Johnson outside. Embiid against Valanciunas. And he was fouled on the way up. 2 free throws now for him. First trip to the free throw line for him in this one. The free throw drops for Valanciunas. Some changes for Philadelphia. And so the big win by Toronto in a tight game. They didn't make it easy on themselves or their fans, but Clark, in the end, everyone satisfied.
Yeah, you know, it looked like for a moment there, the outcome was...
Thank you, Kevin. Kyle, you were able...
The 2K Sports postgame show.
Kevin, thank you. So why don't we take a look now at our Jordan Player of the Game? He had just an outstanding fourth quarter performance. He really had the fire lit under him, and down the stretch, really having a huge impact on the outcome of this game.
There's no doubt about it. This guy is a leader. He was in attack mode all night, calling for it and delivering in some big, big plays in basket. His point total shows everything that I'm talking about. The defense was like, what am I going to do? And he was like, nothing, because I'm toying with you.
Just a sensational performance on.
And that'll do it for our broadcast tonight. Hope you enjoyed the show. For me and Kenny Smith,